Hey guys, today I want to talk with you about the new Titan Rune Dungeons. Everybody was hoping that Classic or Wrath Classic, Wrath of the Lich King gets something like Mythic Plus in retail. WoW. It's not like Mythic Plus, definitely not like this. It's, to be honest, far away from being close to Mythic Plus. What is a little bit sad, I had more hopes for all of this, but anyways, I think it is good what we get. I think it's a nice change. It's not too big and it's something. So I would say I'm definitely positive about it, but I also want to make clear it could be much better implemented, especially if they would have maybe more time to work on those things. I guess there were not a lot of resources on the side of Blizzard because of Dragonflight and all these things. I really think that Mythic Plus for Classic World of Warcraft would be an awesome thing for a lot of people, even maybe for actual retail players. They would maybe coming back to the game and play Mythic Plus here on Classic. So no, it's not what we get, but we get something that is also pretty good in my opinion. I show it to you here. It's an article from Wowhead. As you can see here, Titan Rune Dungeons is a new mechanics, blah blah blah. Yeah. Inside of every dungeon, at the start of every dungeon, there is a device. All the 5 players has to press it to, I think it's to channel something there, and that will activate the defense protocol. A new object will appear, which players need to interact, and when it's active, a light will shine, and the mysterious device and enemies will be buffed. Okay, cool. So that means, yes, there is a scaling, but there's not like in Mythic Plus different stages, different levels. It's only you activate it or you're not activating it. You're not activating it, everything stays the same like it is right now. What is pretty boring and only gives you maximum item level 200 epic at the end boss, and you know the emblems that you can get. If you activate now in the future this defense protocol, then you can see that all the different dungeons, Utgard Keep, and so on and so on and so on, they have different things here popping up. As you can see here, what is most common is damage increased by 30%, or what means most common, all of them have this is the same. Damage increased by 30%, health increased by 100%, every mob, every boss. And then, as you can see, for example, in Utgard Keep, Empowered Frost Rune. Melee attacks have a chance to glacial a random nearby target. Glacial coat the victim with frost, causing them to leave an icy trail that damages and snares their allies. So, long story short, the dungeons will get definitely more hard. 30% more damage is 30% more damage. 100% more health is 100% more health. But does this make the dungeons hard? I think there's a pretty clear answer, no. They would make it hard if you have a very new character, fresh, level 80, just today, yesterday, level 80. I don't know what item level you usually have, then I think it's like 2500 on a really fresh level 80, around this 2500. But to be honest, most people now have minimum 1, maybe even 2, or maybe even 3 characters, item level 4000 and above. And 4000 and above is so much stronger than 2.5k, 2.5k that the dungeons will still be easy. To make that clear for equipped characters. But it is a little bit more hard, that makes the dungeons a little bit more difficult, interesting. And I also have to say, back in the days in Wrath of the Lich King Classic, or Wrath of the Lich King, not Classic, you know what I mean. All the old dungeons were like completely unimportant, unnecessary, out of the game, nobody cared anymore about it, and they can definitely prevent this with this mechanic. It is an interesting mechanic. We will also see how this will scale now through WotLK Classic and maybe even later on in other add-ons that maybe are coming as Classic version. As you can see here, this is maybe very important. Defeating the final boss encounter in a daily heroic dungeon on Titan Rune difficulty will reward a bounty satchel which currently contains 3 Emblem of Conquest, the new emblems. Only one person in the group can win the bag. That means you pick up the heroic daily. It's always one dungeon. You make the dungeon. Everybody for sure makes his daily, gets the two emblems that are always the reward of the daily quest. But now also the end boss, the final boss of the daily heroic dungeon, drops another bag. You have a 20% win chance because there are 4 other people in your group, and one gets 3 more emblems. That means 5 emblems possible per day, what is definitely a lot. And the normal bosses, they drop Emblem of Valor. Also maybe important here for everybody is that, as you can see, bosses inside Titan Rune Dungeons that have defensive program active will drop their regular loot table already, as well as additional loot from 10-player Naxxramas. Final bosses in each Titan Rune Dungeon will drop item level 213 loot from 10-player KT, Maligus or Satarian. So, what does it mean? That means definitely we don't have here any Mythic Plus, so it makes no sense to talk about it. And I really also think that Heroic Plus is not the right term to talk about these dungeons. But I also don't have a problem with that term. It's just, I think, not really. It gives the feeling that it's a Mythic Plus, but it is not. What is Blizzard doing here? They provide a very, very nice, in my opinion, catch-up mechanic for new players, comeback players, or old characters, and it's a very nice one. And also, what is the benefit about all this? The old content, old in case of we already played now these dungeons so many times. Like I said, sadly they are now very, very easy. They were never hard, just to make that clear, but on day 1, new level 80, 5 people of fresh level 80 in the group. Yes, the dungeons, you had a little bit to care about what was going on. Now, nothing is happening anymore. Everything dies super fast. Everything makes kind of no damage anymore to tanks. Healers are bored, whatever. With 30% more damage is definitely more going on. With 100% more HP, you can definitely say again it's a dungeon and not a complete kindergarten. There are also some achievements. If this is interesting for you, I'm not sure if you can get here something very nice from it. But yeah, some people are definitely, they like achievements, so it could be a nice option if you are interested in it, and so on and so on. So I will post also the link for the Wowhead guide into the video description. Like I said, far away from Mythic Plus, or not Heroic Plus. I don't like the term, but maybe it's also the term that we will use, because the official now is Titan Rune. Was it Titan Rune? Titan Rune Dungeon. But at the end of the day, they keep old content fresh, important. They give comeback people a chance, a very good chance. 213 loot is strong. They give alt a good chance, and they give also newcomers a nice chance to go into the game. So all over, a nice change in my opinion. I would appreciate seeing more of those things that don't change the game too much, but giving here a nice thing. That's it for today, guys. See you. Bye bye.